Hello and welcome to Character Unlock episode 60. I'm hosting John and with me is Brooker. Brooker, how are we?
I am good, mate. I'm good. I've had half a tub of coffee flavoured ice cream. I've had half a bowl of chocolate covered coffee beans, and I have a cup of coffee right next to me. I'm never going to sleep again.
I was going to say that's a triple coffee dose.
It's amazing.
I think the only way you could have more coffee is if you go for those double espressos.
Oh no. Ones that are so thick you can stand your spoon in them.
Yep. Just drinking a coffee, being tree.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, just been relaxing. I've only played one game, and I'll get onto that later. But there's a reason to why I'm feeling so relaxed from playing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, more on that later.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, I've only played one game. I can't really spoil it this early. It's 2 minutes into the fucking podcast, not even fucking that. So all cool, all good on the everything front. Everyone's happy. We are gonna smash directly on rather than just beating around the bush like you know and love us to do. We're gonna go straight into some news. And the big news is that Bungie are finally pulling away from the tyranny that is Activision and taking Destiny with them, which I'm half sure is what they wanted to do in the first place when they pulled away from Microsoft and took Destiny with them, or at the time untitled Bungie game.
Yeah, but I think maybe a lot of people don't realise this, because I saw a lot of people like cheering this on, and that's great, but like companies need money.
Yeah.
You know, video games are not cheap to make. So, you know, Activision hand the money, Activision publish game and make money off of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't play Destiny, so I don't know how bad it is under Activision or how much better it could have been. But, I don't know, the big publishers, man, they're all much of a muchness.
Yeah, Activision's a massive fucking publisher, and it probably could have been a lot worse for Bungie releasing the Destiny game. But at the time, untitled Bungie game, when it became Destiny, was a completely different game to its original, trailers and all of the original content and all of the stuff that was building into Destiny. And I'm talking to the stuff that was hinted at Destiny back in the Halo games.
Yeah.
This was a game that Bungie were making. Microsoft clearly said, I don't think there's a future in that game. There is no future in an MMO shooter. Well, essentially an MMO open world shooter.
Yeah.
Didn't let Bungie do it. Got upset the Bungie guys because all they wanted was them to make Halo, and thankfully Microsoft have realised their ways and gone, okay, yeah, maybe we won't do that all the time now.
Yeah.
We won't force our developers to do what it is that we're forcing them to do, and we'll let them play around a little bit. Maybe they should let Bungie back into the fold.
Yeah, they won't do that.
No, Bungie's way too expensive now.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't want to go back anyway.
No, and now they've got, obviously, they were big anyway. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Bungie were nothing before they'd done Destiny. Of course they weren't. But now with Halo and 2 Destiny games and a 3rd Destiny game, I assume, in the works, they could easily pull in investors without having to worry about publishers. You know, they could self-publish without much of an issue now, I think.
Yeah. The only thing we have to worry about is if they accidentally sign on with Gearbox or something.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
It's like in the middle, it's like they're signing autographs at a stand, and Randy Pitchford turns up and says, "Can you sign this, please?" And it's a contract to work for Gearbox.
Yeah. But I'm curious. As a non-Destiny player, I'm curious to see what they do, and I'm curious to see what happens. Because obviously, you know, there's maybe it's just because I'm a cynic and I can't help it. But I sit there and watch these or read these news reports, and I'm like, you know, now we get to build the Destiny we wanted to with Destiny 3. And I was like, well, 4 years ago in Destiny, you said it was going to have a 10-year shelf life, and you're about to start the 3rd one. Make up your fucking mind, lads.
Maybe they meant by 10-year shelf life, they actually meant that the Destiny franchise had a 10-year shelf life.
But they specifically said that Destiny was going to be a 10-year game.
Yeah,
You know,
but this is a world now where a 10-year game, FIFA is technically a 30-year game or
no,
something.
no, FIFA is a fucking annual game.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know what I mean. You can't tell the difference now when it comes to these things. You can't tell the difference between what devs want to make and what devs say, what publishers want to make and what publishers say, and what actually comes out. You know, the finished product is the only thing that really talks. And I will stand here curiously watching until Destiny 3 appears, and I'll wait and see what happens. Somebody will bitch about it.
yeah.
It
I'm no happier. Well, actually, no, I am happier they're away from Activision because I think there's been a lot of problems with the publisher. But at the same time, I've also played both Destiny games from launch
yeah,
and what they became later on. And it's pretty plain to see that there are two different teams working on these. There's the development team and then there's the live team.
yeah,
And considering Destiny 1's development team fucked up miserably
yeah,
again, most people will blame Activision for that one. But after the 3 years it was alive, it became a very, very good game. And then Destiny 2 came out and was worse than what Destiny 1 ended
yeah,
as. And Destiny 2 is now getting better. It's not not as good as Destiny 1's
yeah.
ending, but Destiny 2 is a lot better now than it was before. It's not enjoyable enough for me to keep playing it. I probably will pick it up when Lee asks me to go back onto it.
You see, my question would be, right, I'm not even really playing devil's advocate. I'm just kind of genuinely curious. If you say Destiny 2 isn't as good as what Destiny 1 was by the time we got to the end of Destiny 1, yeah,
Yep.
and you blame Activision for that. Activision are the kings of copying stuff that they do well. It's how Call of Duty became the monster that it is.
Yeah.
You know, do you really think Activision stopped doing that for Destiny, the multi-billion-dollar franchise that they managed to create out of nothing?
Oh no, I blame Activision for Destiny 1.
Yeah.
I,
No, that I
I,
get. I'll give you
I
that.
blame Bungie's development team for
Yeah.
starting Destiny 2 based on what they were doing for Destiny 1 rather than going, Destiny 1's doing pretty good now that we've managed to finish it. Let's make Destiny 2 more of this. They just went, here's Destiny 1. People are complaining about it. Let's make Destiny 2 slightly better than this and not
Fair
what
enough.
was Destiny 1 became.
No, that's fair enough. I was curious because I don't like. You know, I don't. I've played maybe 2 hours of these games each at a push.
Call of Duty. Okay, Activision are the king of copy when it comes to Call of Duty games, but
What
not
I mean
each
is,
Call of Duty games is as good as the previous ones,
no,
or
it's not.
is,
But
and
what they
some of them
do,
are downright worse.
they are. But what they do, or at least what they try to do, is they try to take the bits that everybody screams the loudest about and put that into the next one.
Yeah,
You know.
so they make the multiplayer maps have the ones from Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1
Yeah.
because they're the ones that people actually remember.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to play on Terminal every time they play one that's made by the Infinity Ward guys.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not saying for a second they get it right every time. I'm really not. Uh, you know, Call of Duty now for me and for a lot of people has kind of fallen by the wayside. So I don't think that they're successful in everything they do. But for a long time, we're talking like 5 or 6 years, Activision and Call of Duty, you know, you couldn't. It was unbeatable, and it was because Activision knew what they had on their hands, and they knew how to get it in. They knew how to refine it with each game. Granted, they got to a point where they completely fucked it, and that point ended somewhere around jetpacks for a lot of people. But you know, for the most part, Activision are very good at seeing trends. Let's say what people are enjoying, what people want to play, and crowbarring it in, and
Yeah.
then slapping you in the face with it over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, and we're going to end up with a battle royale in every game that they release. Even though the current realm of battle royale games are going to be around for as long as battle royale's a thing.
Yep.
I mean, have we had a competitor to Overwatch? And somehow Overwatch is
Not
died.
one that's done well.
But Overwatch is nowhere near as popular as talked about as it used to be.
Oh no, but Overwatch is still massive,
Yeah,
and it's still
and
making
yeah,
Acti a fortune, Acti Blizzard a fortune. Uh,
Fortnite
what?
is going to do the same thing. I think at some point people are going to move away from Fortnite to something else.
Oh yeah, see when you get to things like Fortnite and Overwatch and that, it's the trend, isn't it? It's
Minecraft before it.
it used to be Minecraft. Then we have PUBG and Fortnite and Overwatch, and eventually someone will come up with something that draws all the crowds away and makes millions and millions and millions of dollars hand over fist
Yeah.
with absolutely no effort.
Well, people just stopped playing Minecraft. It just sort of overnight, just people just moved on to something else. But
That's because it was fucking everywhere.
yeah, and people are moving back to Minecraft. I think Minecraft actually was the most watched thing on Twitch a couple of weeks ago because a load of people just went back to it over the Christmas New Year period
Yeah.
after they saw what the Fortnite had been smashing it, and loads of people were like, "Well, Fortnite's shit." Loads of kids doing Fortnite dances. Now Fortnite is popular because people are hating on it.
Which seems unfair.
Yeah,
It's not my
it's
game, but there's nothing wrong with Fortnite.
no, no, and the fact it's like the biggest thing I've seen on Reddit in the last couple of weeks is people posting things out about children doing Fortnite dances in public. Is that they're gonna I don't know they're putting out things saying it's time for another fucking crusade.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's like it's fucking kids dancing in public just because the dances are in Fortnite.
Yeah. I have a 5-year-old who dabs.
You do kickboxing, right?
Yeah.
All right. Another tiny news while I'm because we could mention in Fortnite, I just remembered is that in the latest update of Forza Horizon 4, they've removed both the floss and the Carlton dance.
Awesome. Well, that's because
Because yeah,
Fortnite are being sued.
exactly. So it's like Microsoft has just kind of gone, let's take them out ourselves because even though they're not talking about it, it's in our game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because, and I can't remember the guy's name, Carlos, whatever his fucking name is, the guy that plays Carlton.
Alphonse something.
Yeah, he's trying to trademark the dance, isn't he?
Yeah, the Carlton.
Yeah,
Because it's the Carlton.
yeah, because it's his dance. I'm not sure you can trademark a dance move, but let's be honest about it. If anyone can, it will be him.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can trademark a dance move, it's someone who has a dance move that is entirely attributed to him.
Yeah, uh,
People trademark their names anyway, so
exactly. So the thing is, the second that trademark hits, if the if their game has the dance in it, they will be liable for it. So take it out before anything happens. No one will notice. No one will care.
it's probably been removed from Destiny. Not even Destiny 2, Destiny 1 it was in.
Yeah. So yeah, it's God bless it.
And
It is
yeah.
funny.
Oh yeah. But and then there's the backpack kid who wants to sue for the floss dance.
Yeah, he can fuck off.
It's like it's just some kid wearing a backpack. And
Yeah.
it's just all right. Moving on after little extra news, and I suppose it's a little-ish segue again, still from Fortnite, and it's a crossplay thing because you've got full crossplay now on Rocket League.
Woohoo!
Means that I can now play against you on Rocket League from any of the devices I have with Rocket League on it. So all of them.
I was gonna say all of my devices have Rocket League on.
Yeah, I have Rocket League on my PC, my PlayStation, my Xbox, and my Switch. And I think the one I've played the most on is probably the Switch.
I think PlayStation is probably where I spent the most time on Rocket League. Mainly because like PlayStation got it on Rocket League as part of PS Plus on release day. Which when you look back at it now and you go, holy shit, that's an amazing grab for PlayStation Plus, considering how big Rocket League became. I played it for fucking months. I couldn't not play it.
What was it called before? Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle
Yeah,
Cars.
that's the one.
Yeah.
I owned that as well. Not on PS4 because it's only on PS3, but I own it because me and my brother played the demo of it and really loved it. I spent ages just laughing our asses off playing it, so I bought it and just hours of pissing ourselves laughing playing this stupid fucking game. It was so much fun. I really liked Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars. Rocket League's a better title.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like people aren't going to remember Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
Exactly.
But Rocket League, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that people probably didn't find a shortening for Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
Well,
I'm going to stop saying that because it's really
yes.
starting to annoy me.
But they never got big, that was the thing.
No.
I came across it completely by accident, like I say, in a demo. It was just something I found while I was looking for stuff to play with my brother, who just bought a PS3, but still isn't really that much of a gamer. So we were looking for something to play together. That wasn't Hawks, because Hawks. And we came across this, and yeah, just fantastic, such a lot of fun. But yeah, no one had fucking heard of it, and if you plonked it down in front of somebody now, they just go, well, it looks like a Rocket League ripoff. Most people would have no fucking idea that it's the Rocket League sequel. Or the Rocket League prequel, sorry.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a game, but I can't fucking remember what it was, but it's just saying Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars. I'm not going to say that ever fucking again.
I bet you are. I bet you say it at least once more before we finish recording.
It's a racing game that I played I had a demo for on the PlayStation. I think it was PlayStation 1.
Ridge Racer.
No,
Destruction Derby.
It was like a Mario Kart style game where you race around circuits with power-ups, obviously, and you're driving cars that are designed after animals. Yeah.
What?
Exactly. But I remember a demo of it on the PlayStation, one that you used to get with the PlayStation magazine.
Oh, it was... Ah.
Answers on a fucking postcard if we can't remember it. But I'm fucking...
It was something really shit like extreme go-kart racing or something. I think. I can't... Yeah. I don't know. Kart racers on the PS1. That and Crash.
That was it. It was just Crash Bandicoot games of varying types, and then car racing games.
There was definitely... It was like go-kart extreme or extreme go-kart racing or something, and it was fucking bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. The PS1 was a long time ago, dude.
It was, and it's a good thing we've got a couple of people who listen to us who play a lot of classic game.
Well, we're dragging a retro game on for our next episode, so hopefully he listens to this and remembers, and he can come on and tell us off for not remembering next week.
Running Wild?
Maybe?
No, that's actually a running. That's running. I want cars, not running.
Are you googling shit while we're podcasting?
Yes, I am. I think I've actually found it. Scars. It's a supercomputer animal racing simulator, but they never actually say that name.
Oh God, that's a terrible name.
Yeah.
Scars may be a worse name.
Yeah. The box art is a picture of a shark with wheels.
Oh dear Lord. I'd like to thank you for bringing this into our lives.
Good.
Douchebag.
Yep. I need to make a sequel to that.
Scars 2.
Yeah.
Scar Harder.
There we go. No, yep. Exactly. And then they can make a third one.
Scar Hard with a Vengeance. Scars with a Vengeance.
Yep, Scars with a Vengeance. And then a fourth one, it's a Good Day to Scar again, the hard. There we go. And then whatever the fifth one was.
I don't know. Live
Free or Scar Hard.
Yeah.
Scarred. Final news, which is the hilarity of the Pinkerton Detective Agency suing
I fucking love
Rockstar and Take-Two for their use in Red Dead Redemption 2.
I fucking love this. the Pinkertons, the Pinkerton Detective Agency is like it's the pinnacle of kind of legendary ghost stories, like they're the boogeyman for the Wild West.
The what became the Spanish Inquisition thanks to Monty Python.
Yeah, but what I mean is like when you watch anything Wild West, I'm talking like any Western films. Deadwood, the TV show Deadwood is a classic, and the threat of the Pinkertons is like being threatened with the boogeyman. They're kind of
Or John Wick.
Or John Wick. They kind of got this really cool legendary status in kind of Wild West culture. But the thing is, they still exist. They're still a thing now. That I think they're called like Pinkerton Consulting or Pinkerton Investigations or something like that. So they're still a company and they're still around, which actually means you need to ask permission if you're going to use their name in your game. And apparently Take-Two didn't do that, which I think is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they probably were just looking at it going, oh yeah, the Pinkertons, that's the name I heard of back in the day of Wild West when I was a wee lad watching spaghetti westerns with my nan.
Shit, yeah, son. Sergio Leone movies.
So anything with John Wayne in it.
Yeah.
Or Clint Eastwood. Or a combination of the two.
I was going to say, best get your shit right there, son. That was Clint Eastwood in those films.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I can kind of see why Take-Two, because they're claiming they get to use it under fair use. But I don't think you get to use it under fair use when you're putting it into your multi-billion-dollar game. I don't think that counts. And I'm pretty sure it's a trademarked and or copyrighted name. You would almost certainly need to ask permission to use it. So I think Rockstar are in for a bit of a payout for that one.
Yeah. I mean, Take-Two will probably be a little bit upset with the fact that they're going to lose a lot of money to this just because someone fucked up.
Yeah.
But it is a proper, yeah, okay, maybe we should have done our job properly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they'll see it as a, well, we've made this much money, but we've now lost this much money, or if it's a, we lost this much money when we could have only spent this much if we'd done it right in the first place.
I don't think it'll, it's not gonna break the bank. It's gonna, they're gonna have I think if the Pinkertons are successful, which I think they probably will be, I think there'll be a settlement and it'll be out of court. It'll be undisclosed. It won't be a lot of money, but it'll be enough to, keep big Pinkertons quiet and give Rockstar permission to use the name.
This is where they need to rehire back all of those voice actors to where every time they've said the word Pinkerton, that they have to replace it.
Just with something just completely generic.
Just not even something generic. Just completely change it to something that's also a massive fuck you to the Pinkertons.
Yeah.
Saying this could have been you, but now it's the Orangertons.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think it's quite funny. I'm a big fan of Rockstar just getting the shaft because I think it's hilarious.
Well, when you think you're above, you think you're above the law, you kind of
yeah. Yeah.
So, some funny news, some good news. Remembering a really shit old game. I think we did all right for a news section.
It's pretty typical of our just normal shit.
Yep.
It's all good,
I
man.
think I was going to go watch Vice instead of doing this.
Well, I did say to you, I don't mind recording tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm free tomorrow. That's the problem because I don't plan that far ahead. Like clearly proven with the fact that I try to plan ahead and book myself on to watch a film, and then remember it's the wrong day.
I said to Maya, I said, "Do you want to go and watch Vice?" She's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, because I'm recording a podcast and I've already booked a seat for it." Because I just, as the unlimited screenings come in, I just book onto all of them. I don't even look at the date. I just book onto them all. and then just if I've got time to go, I go, or if I can be bothered, I go. I think I've booked onto like 6 so far this year, and the first one I go to will be next Friday.
Well, it's like I have a weird interest in American politics, and I think that anything that is about the George W. era
Yeah.
is absolutely worth watching.
Oh yeah, and Vice has had some tremendous reviews, and I
Yeah.
do really want to watch it. And I love watching Christian Bale in almost anything. So watching Christian Bale as Dick Cheney in it in Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching Christian Bale as Dick Cheney, I think will be really interesting. I'm in no rush. I'll go and watch it on release week.
Yeah. Maybe we'll make a date of it. Me and you. We'll go watch a film that we both kind of wanted to watch,
Yeah,
and
man.
then ended up doing this instead. I just took a look at the next film that I kind of want to watch, and it falls on a fucking Wednesday for its screening, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's next week, it's fine.
You're not going to see Glass tomorrow, then?
No,
Not interested?
I'm not a lover of M. Night Shyamalan, ding dong.
Fair enough.
I don't know what it is about his films. It's not that they've got the ridiculous twist to them that most people get fucking terrified of or whatever the fuck. But it's more of I don't need to watch his films at the cinema.
No, fair enough. I'm not a fan of his at all. I think Split is his best film by a massive fucking margin.
I also still haven't seen Split, so
But yeah, you kind of need to see Split to see Glass.
yeah. But then at the same time, I've only seen Unbreakable once ever.
I've seen it twice. I saw it at the cinema the week it came out, and I fucking hated it. And I watched it this weekend just gone, and well, I don't hate it anymore, but I still don't get what people like about it. I just sat there going, all right, it's Bruce Willis in a smock. Well done. I give so little of a fuck about Unbreakable, but I really liked Split, and I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But if Maya comes back from the screening tomorrow and says it's really good, you have to go watch it, I'll try and find time over the weekend. Otherwise, I'm quite happy to not go to the cinema till next Friday when the Escape Room preview's on.
I just realised I don't think there's an M. Night Shyamalan film I've seen more than once.
Really?
Yeah. I can only think of so many in my head.
Well, most of them are crap.
But I think I've only ever seen. I've never seen more than an M. Night Shyamalan film more than once.
I would have thought everybody had seen The Sixth Sense twice, just because after you know what the twist is, it's a different film to watch. So everybody went to watch it again.
No, I watched it once.
But the rest of his stuff, apart from Split, the rest of it I've only ever watched once. Oh, and now Unbreakable. I'm not a fan.
Now I'm just I'm doing the same thing again, except this time I'm googling M. Night Shyamalan film.
But you don't need to Google it. You've got me. So you have
True.
The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable.
Tell me every single in chronological order.
In chronological order, I might fall over a little bit, but we can try. So Sixth Sense, Unbreakable.
Okay, he made 2 films before that.
Did he? Not that I know of. I don't know them.
Praying with Anger and Wide Awake.
Yeah, I've not heard of either of those. And then you add Signs.
Yep, seen it once.
The Village.
In French as well, actually. I haven't seen The Village.
Don't bother, it's shit.
I wasn't planning on watching it.
Lady in the Water.
Yep. Not seen it either.
Don't bother, it's shit.
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck was after that? Because then it went really bad. So what was after Lady in the Water? Because he produced a couple as well. So he wrote and produced a film called Devil, which was.
I'm only going for his directing.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I know. Yeah, I've actually seen Devil. Once.
Devil's good. It's the one set in the elevator, the horror set in the elevator.
Yeah.
I really like Devil. After Lady in the Water, I don't know what we got because there's a big gap, and then you have After Earth. Oh no, you had The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And then
I've
After
seen
Earth.
that once. But there is a film between Lady in the Water and The Last Airbender.
Go on then.
The Happening.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. God, that film was terrible. Serial Killing Wind. Fuck you, Shyamalan. Just all of the fuck yous. I'm going to make a film where the wind kills people. Yeah, alright. Roland Emmerich done it. It was called 2012. It was much better, and that was a shit film too. Yeah, and then you had After Earth, which was utter garbage. And you had The Visit. The Visit was quite good.
Nope, not seen it.
No,
But again,
I don't imagine
not,
you would. The Visit's a full-on horror movie. I wouldn't have expected you to watch it.
I think I saw adverts for it, and I went, nope, not watching that one. A
But
bit
the thing,
like that more recent one that I kept seeing fucking advertised every time I went to the cinema to watch Deadpool.
which one?
Hereditary? No,
Yeah,
mate. Yeah,
yeah, Hereditary.
would that have been during Deadpool?
Yes, there would have been adverts for Hereditary during Deadpool. Yeah.
Every fucking time. And I watched Deadpool a lot that day, and I kept
Yeah.
seeing that fucking thing advertised. And every time I kept wanting to not be there anymore.
Hereditary
Go
was
home.
good. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. The furious horror fan masturbation sessions over it, I think, were a bit much, but it was good. The thing about The Visit, actually, what was interesting about The Visit, obviously, it was fresh off of After Earth and The Last Airbender and The Happening, which were all terrible, like legitimately terrible. Not just Brooker fucking hated them. Everybody hated those films. There is not a single person in this world that is a fan of The Happening. A Happening fan doesn't exist. So actually, when The Visit came out, it wasn't advertised as a Shyamalan movie. It was just I think it was a Blumhouse film. I might be wrong on that one, but it was just advertised as a Universal horror film. And it wasn't until you got into it and you kind of got halfway through and went, "This feels like a Shyamalan movie." Oh yeah, look at that. And The Visit ain't the worst. I didn't mind The Visit, and Split is legitimately a great film. Glass, the Split side of it interests me. The Unbreakable side does not. So
I'm not entirely sure how the two films connect, but having not seen Split, I don't think I'd ever work out why.
no,
How they connect.
Split is one to watch though. It's not particularly scary. I would recommend it. Like even to people that don't like horror films, I would recommend Split.
All right, I'll throw it onto my just looking at the fucking cast for it.
It's James McAvoy playing like 27 different roles.
Yep. Actually, it's quite funny because I'm looking at the cast list for it, and it's like James McAvoy, and then it's just like all the fucking names.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
it's one to watch. I think you'd enjoy it.
All right.
How the fuck did we get onto 10 minutes of Shyamalan movies?
I don't know. I kind of don't want to know.
Love
I think
it.
it's because no, we were talking about
Talking about Vice and
Vice
unlimited
and-
screenings.
yeah, and then you questioning if I was going to watch Glass, and I said no. But then again, I'm not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan.
Fair enough. Are you going to see Escape Room next week?
No,
Escape Room
No.
was amazing.
I don't know why I'm not going to see it, but I'm not going to see it. I think it might just be because it's not on my list of things to watch right now.
No, fair enough.
Mainly because I don't actually have a list of things to watch.
Horror. Anything horror I will go and watch, and Escape Room looks like fun horror.
Look, it took me until this Friday just gone to watch Aquaman. It
Did you like it?
wasn't bad.
I quite enjoyed it.
I
thought it
didn't
was
hate
fun.
it. I liked it in Screen X, although the advert for the Screen X screen before the film made me feel sick.
See, I went to see it in Screen X as well, and I think the advert for the Screen X was better than the film in Screen X. Because it's made for it. Because it's made
Yeah.
for that setup. There are points where it feels like 3D without glasses, and it was really good. And then Aquaman happened, and there were moments when it was quite clearly just stretched. And I was
Yep.
like, this is really fucking distracting. and I got really annoyed because the bits up the side, it reminded me a lot of when you have a VR headset on and everything directly in front of you is clear, but everything in the periphery is kind of blurry.
Yep.
It just reminded me of that, and I found it quite a distraction.
Yeah. So the advert for the Screen X, you're right. It did feel like a weird 3D effect because of the way it was. Because I sat smack right in the middle. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But when some of the movement happened, and I started to feel a bit motion sick because, especially when we were heading, the direction was heading down towards the ground.
Yeah.
I felt like I was falling, and I was actually starting to feel a bit motion sickness from it. But it
I
was
can see that.
the first time I put on a VR headset, and the bloke that was demonstrating it to me, we were doing it in Google Earth, and he did the exact same thing to me, where he just made me fall out of the fucking sky to the ground. I almost fucking fell over.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Prick.
So I was impressed at the tech. I will not be rushing out to watch it. My issue is it cost me more to see a film in Screen X than it does to see a film on Super Screen. And at least in Super Screen, the film that's filmed in 4K isn't stretched across the entire fucking room.
Yeah, so the Super Screen is what, an extra £2?
Yep.
And the Screen X was £3.
Yeah.
And yeah, the moment that you mention it, I do feel like I wasn't watching a whole film with Aquaman. I do feel like they brought the screen in a bit too close for certain scenes, just to show off the walls.
Yeah, and there were times I said this. I can't remember who I said it to, but I remember coming out. So quite a few years ago, me and Maya, we used to go down to London every year, like on our anniversary. We still try to now, but when you have a child, it's slightly more difficult. So we tried to go down to London on our wedding anniversary and do something. So a few years ago, we went down and we went to the BFI IMAX to watch Dark Knight Rises, just because it was before the IMAX in Milton Keynes opened. It was as close as going to the IMAX in Birmingham, but it was London, which, of all of its many, many traits, one of the best ones is that it's not Birmingham.
Not being Birmingham is usually a good thing.
Yeah. But actually, what I found really distracting is we were watching The Dark Knight Rises, and of course the whole film isn't filmed in IMAX. Only certain scenes are. So when you're watching it on this big screen, there are times when it flicks between IMAX and just standard anamorphic camera. IMAX, standard anamorphic camera. And it is really fucking distracting. Like, all of a sudden, the aspect ratio just changes. You know, it's like watching a pirate copy of a movie. Why have I paid 30 quid for this fucking thing? And that's exactly how I felt watching Screen X, because it's not all in the wraparound screen.
No, and I mean, it tried its best when it was doing the scenes, so it was like picking exact moments and being like, oh, we're going to make it move onto the walls at this point, because he decided that this is when Jason Momoa and Amber Heard kiss for the first time, so we'll have it so that it's a really poignant scene, and they kiss, and you get
fish everywhere.
And you get to see all the fish everywhere, or the first time you go under the water, and it's like you're above water, you dive into the water, and suddenly everything around you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not. I'm not a fan. I see why it gets done, and what I am a fan of encouraging people to go to cinema to watch films, and I have been for a long time. For me, if you want me to go to cinema more often, better quality screens, not wraparound screens, better quality sound. So I'm talking 2 or 3 super screens, please. 4K and Dolby Atmos over stretched pixelated movies any day of the week, and more importantly, fucking employ people to come and throw out cunt bags who will not stop talking and will not put their goddamn phones away. It should not be my job to police the people on their phones while I'm trying to watch a film.
The problem is that if you're going to employ people to do that, you need people who are like you to do that. So if they
employ me to do it, then I will gladly do it if you pay me. But what I don't want to do is pay my extra money to go to the cinema, and then it be my job to tell people to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and put their phone back in their goddamn pocket.
The problem is that they're probably not allowed to even do that, because half the time you see them walk in, and they look at the crowd and they see the person with their feet up, and they walk up and they say, "Can you put your feet down?" And they will, and then they'll put them back up again as soon as the dude turns fucking around again. Or the other side of it is they'll say no, and then the bloke can't do anything because
Well,
we're the
but this is
nanny
why,
state we
yes,
are of.
this is why you have
It,
security, and security will pick you up and move you.
yeah, but the security will probably turn around and say it's not our job to do that because reasons. And it's
Well,
like
yeah,
we're not allowed to touch people.
but this is what I mean. You employ people that will do it, or that will be able to do it. I would be much happier going to cinema with people hanging around that can remove people that are being cunts in the screen than sit and pay for watching Aquaman stretched around my head.
But what do they do at this point? Do they, while this exchange is happening, do they pause the film?
No, just pick people up and fucking move them. Guarantee you'll get cheers. And the thing is, mate, you only need to do it for a little while. People will
Yeah,
fucking learn. Because, you know, and indie cinemas do this all the time. I spend quite a lot of time in indie cinemas. I don't just go to Cineworld. I love independent cinema. But if you're a dick in an independent cinema, you will be ejected, and people will cheer as you leave because you've ruined their fucking experience for them. And mate, people stop doing it. Once word gets out that people are removed from cinemas for being arseholes, people just stop doing it. Or just
yeah.
solve all the problems, drop a fucking jammer in each screen. You know, spend money doing that, not on fucking stupid wraparound Screen X.
Yeah, although you'll end up with people saying that, oh no, I can't, you can't jam my phone signal because I'm expecting an emergency call.
Or then don't
My
go to
wife's
cinema.
in hospital or something. It's like, fucking don't go to the cinema.
Yeah, I'm not being funny. Again, I go to a cinema in London. One of the screens is underground. There is no signal. If I'm expecting an important call, do you know what I do?
Don't go.
I don't go underground to watch a film. Yeah, common sense. This is my. I could go, dude. I could do this rant for hours.
Yeah,
Movies are my fucking life, and cunt bags that ruin it every time I go to the cinema. All of them should be killed.
I just think it's the scene of you like getting annoyed at someone, and it's like they think that they are like the big hard man, thinking that, oh yeah, anyone who tells me to get off my phone, I could probably fucking take them. And it's like you then just stand up and they just go, I'll be good.
Yeah, it does pay to be this big sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. We need to talk about some games, dude.
Yeah. Brooks, what have you been playing when you've not been, at the cinema complaining about Screen X?
I don't know. So what should I talk about? What should I talk about? I will skip talking about Hitman because I'm still playing Hitman. I can't stop playing Hitman. I'll tell you what, right? Because you've only got one game, haven't you?
Yep.
So I will roll both my games into one because I've basically been playing two of the same game. I installed, picked up and played the Resident Evil remake for PS4. So this was I need to remember, I need to try and get this right. I think it was a GameCube release of Resident Evil, like 2002 or 2003. That was then re-released on all the platforms, like Wii, PS3, 360, Xbox One, PS4, all that lot. I'm kind of going through a bit of a Resident Evil kick.
It goes with your year of horror.
Well, yeah, so I'm doing my year of horror, so I'm doing as much horror stuff as I can. I want to play some more horror games. I don't play enough. There aren't enough horror games, in my opinion, anyway. But they always tend to take a back seat for me, so I want to play some more horror games. And I want to play Resident Evil 1 again. Mate, I love Resident Evil 1. I really do. But it has some fucking problems.
Can I ask, have you played Resident Evil Zero before?
Which one was Zero?
Zero was funnily enough, the prequel to 1.
Which one was it?
There's a
The
train.
the GameCube.
It was
one.
a GameCube exclusive, which I think's since been reported out.
Yeah,
and I
so
think it is at least available on Xbox.
It is. It's on the Resident Evil Origins pack,
Yeah.
which is 0 and 1. So I've not played it on the new machines. I would have played it on the GameCube because Resident Evil was the reason I owned a GameCube for Resident Evil 4.
The GameCube. I miss my GameCube.
I don't. I'll be honest. I don't.
Yeah,
I wasn't that big a fan of Resident Evil 4, so it's yeah.
the teeny tiny discs meaning they could charge whatever the fuck they wanted
Yep. But
because
welcome
it
to
wasn't
Nintendo.
DVDs. Yeah.
Uh,
And it meant that they couldn't have a lot of third-party stuff towards the end of the generation because
there's no
teeny
space for
tiny
data.
CDs,
Yeah.
no data space, can't run games that are like not easily portable, not annual releases like FIFA.
No. So yeah, so I picked up Resident Evil 1, and so that a lot of people, maybe not so much now, a lot of people used to say, the thing about Resident Evil 1 that makes it scary is its terrible controls. Which I don't buy into. I can see why people say it, but I don't buy into it. Resident Evil is a scary game that happens to also have terrible fucking controls. It is quite scary. It's still jumpy. It's still got some fun atmosphere. But I will admit that it has not aged well. Not at all. It could do with an actual proper remake, I think. It's... Like I say, I think it took me about 6 hours to finish it. It's not a long game. And that was with a bit of exploration and trying to remember my way around. It's been a while since I played Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1 was the reason I owned a PlayStation 1. Or Resident Evil in general is the reason I owned a PlayStation 1. The models, the kind of fresh character models are good. The environments look nice. Obviously, nothing's pre-rendered anymore, so everything's got 3D models. So it looks better. It looks like you're in a mansion, not running around on someone's wallpaper. But it didn't do it for me, and I felt horrible saying that as well. And I felt like I was kind of letting a massive part of my childhood down by not enjoying my time with Resident Evil. It could really do with a bit of a remake, and that takes me on to what else I've been playing this last couple of weeks. And like apparently a million other people, I've been playing the Resident Evil 2 one-cut demo. Have you played the Resident Evil 2 one-cut demo?
No, I haven't. Not yet. Should
Mate, yes. You really should. It's brilliant. It's atmospheric. It's scary. It's fucking gory. Like, I posted a couple of screenshots up from it, and it's got some of the juiciest fucking gore I've ever seen in a game. The controls are okay. It's a standard third-person shooter. So we've gone now from the fixed camera of Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, and they've now made it an over-the-shoulder shooter. So obviously they have to change the way the horror works now, which is fine. It's all about atmosphere with Resi. Works very well in the one-cut demo. You start off as Leon Kennedy, and you are dropped into the police station, the Raccoon City PD. You meet Marvin, which I was well happy with. It's good to see Marvin again. People that played Resi 2 know who Marvin is. People that haven't played Resi 2 are listening to me going, what the fuck is he on about? It's just Marvin. Marvin's cool. I love Marvin. I'm happy to see Marvin back. You do a little bit of running around, a couple of zombies. Yeah, do some bits. It's half an hour. You get half an hour to play the one-shot demo. Then you have to log on to another account and play it again if you want to. It's what I find really interesting. So it's a tiny segment of game. I discovered at the weekend there is somebody I work with in the office who is a massive Resident Evil fan. Like, massive. I don't think I've met a Resi fan as big as this guy. Maybe Matt. It may be comparable to Matt Lamborn as to how big a Resi fan this guy is. And we spent Saturday morning chatting about the one-shot demo before either of us had played. So when I got back into work on Tuesday, after I'd played it, we sat talking about it. and he'd played it as well. And what I found amazing was that he'd spent half an hour in this game and done 20 things that I hadn't seen.
Huh.
And I'd done 20 things that he hadn't seen. And you kind of get that moment where you go, well, this is fucking Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil was always like that. It was always, there's always things to uncover. There's always things to find. You know, you open a door and you started a whole new story. It's such a well-written, deep and complex game, which isn't something you would expect from a game that's that old. And if I remember right, I think you can run through Resi 2 in about 3 hours. I think you need to finish it in 3 hours to play the fourth Survivor, which is kind of like the add-on game that came with. Did you know the fourth Survivor?
No, never played Resi 2 for very long.
Okay, so parallel to the story in Resident Evil 2, there's you know the guys from Operation Raccoon City?
Yeah.
They are in Raccoon City, parallel to the time that Resident Evil 2 is happening.
Yeah.
And you get to play as Hunk, who is like one of the main characters from Operation Raccoon City. But you get to play as Hunk. He's just a special ops soldier. And I'd have to look up the rules. It's been a long time since I've done it. But if you finish Resi 2 within a certain amount of time, you get to play the fourth Survivor, which is an add-on game where you play as Hunk. And then I think if you finish the fourth Survivor within 2 hours or something, you then get to play the same game as the Hunk of Tofu. You play as a Hunk of Tofu with a combat knife, and that's it. And when you get to the end of the one-shot demo, you watch you get an extra trailer where you get to see that Hunk and Tofu are both coming back, and I was so fucking happy. I don't know if I will manage to unlock Hunk and Tofu and play again, but I will definitely be trying. But yeah, like I say, I've gone off completely on a tangent. But yeah, so me and this guy at work, we were chatting, and he's gone, "Did you see this body?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, the fucking thing fell on me. It scared the crap out of me." I was like, "Oh Jesus!" I was exploring lockers, and I found a locker that was locked, funnily enough, with a combination lock that I didn't know the combination for, and I only had 30 minutes, so I wasn't going to try and guess. Tried opening a couple of other lockers. One opened and a body fell on me, and I shat. A big fat dude zombie trying to get into a food machine, which made me laugh. And then I went and hacked at him with my new fresh combat knife, and it cut his arm off. And then when he came at me with only one arm because the other one was on the floor, which I thought was fucking brilliant. Yeah, it is scary. I think if you don't like horror games, and you're playing Resident Evil, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody knows Resi's a horror game. I think if you don't like horror games, you might not get much out of it. But for people that like horror games, I think it's going to be really scary. I think it's going to be very atmospheric. I think I'm going to be puckering my butthole a lot playing that game. I've already warned the wife and the child that next week when it comes out, I'm playing Resident Evil 2, and that's all I'm doing. Mate, give the one-shot demo a go. It is so much fun. It really is fun. And you can run through it in 3 or 4 minutes if you really want to. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend going through and having a play. But it's using the same Resi engine or RE engine that Resident Evil 7's using, I think.
Yeah.
And it looks like it. It's got that kind of... It looks like a mix of Resident Evil 7 and a bit of the evil within. It's got that kind of aesthetic about it. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be scary. I'm very excited for Resident Evil 2. More on that, hopefully, in the next episode, where we will be dragging Matt Lamborn on to talk about it, because he, like me, is also very excited for Resident Evil 2, and I think he will be. I think he'll be finishing it before he comes on here, and I'll be trying to finish it.
Yeah, and I will be trying to play it.
that's it though, mate. That's my gaming for the last week or so.
So, I guess that leaves me to talk about the gaming I've done. And I've realized that the true way to be completely and utterly at peace with everything you're doing is to play, and you're going to hate me for saying this. I've been playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Okay. I mean, why am I going to hate you for saying it?
Because I'm also going to say that it would be a good game for you to pick up for your daughter.
That's not going to happen.
No. No, basically, because you are not a massive Pokemon fan, in even remotely close to that. But it's not. It's okay. So Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are replacements or remakes of the original Pokemon Blue, Green, Red, and Yellow editions, depending on where you're from.
Okay.
It's closer to the Yellow edition, which was the kind of halfway-ish game that
Yeah.
Pokemon seem to do, where they release a point 0.5 version of their game, where it's usually a tie-in of the two games that were released before. But Yellow was more of in tune to the animated TV series, so you actually played as Ash as opposed to as Red, and you had a Pikachu
Okay.
that followed you around. In this one, the Pikachu sits on your shoulder. I'm assuming that the Eevee does the same, and you get a Pokemon following you around.
Yeah.
But you don't battle wild Pokemon. You just, similar to the Pokemon Go app on your phone, you catch Pokemon by throwing Pokeballs at them. Just constantly just throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah.
Well, you can throw berries as well to make them happy and more likely to be caught, but at the moment I've just been throwing the Pokeballs. But you throw the Pokeballs by throwing your controller, or rather, swinging your controller like you're throwing it. And
kind of like Wii waggle and win kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Using the motion controls, that makes sense.
Using the motion controls, and it's pretty cool. And if it wasn't for the game right at the start telling me to put on the wrist strap when playing this game, I wouldn't have remembered that you actually have that slide-on attachment for when you play in the
Oh yeah.
the side. Because whenever I play with the controller tilted to the side, I usually just press the right and left buttons that are actually on the top of the controller from that point.
Yeah.
Rather than attaching the actual wrist strap attachment, which has the extra buttons on it. And although since discovering that those buttons are on the wrist strap version, I might actually start playing it like that whenever I have to hold the controllers like this, because it moves where the left and right button is slightly higher up, so it's marginally more comfortable.
So can you fling using the Pro controller?
I think so.
Because obviously, there's an accelerometer in it, because if you play Mario Odyssey, you can fling your hat with it.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to remember, because it does ask you at the start, when you fire the game up, which controller you're using. So you can pick left controller, right controller, and it offers the Pro controller.
Okay.
But it also shows you can play the game in handheld mode.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure how the catching mechanic works in handheld mode. If you maybe use the touchscreen like you do on your phone.
I was going to say, I'm going to go ahead and say you don't fling your Switch around on the train.
No, because that would be fucking stupid. But I've got a mate who plays Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu just sort of like as we're playing games.
Yeah.
So it's like between lives on, say, Blackout, for instance, or he's just waiting for me and one of my other friends to finish a match on FIFA to play us, or on Call of Duty, and we're just like sitting in the menus waiting for someone to come back, or on Battlefield, same thing, various other stuff, or we're playing Red Dead, and he's just like in the middle of doing some fishing or something, just play Pokemon in tablet mode, just like set up on his desk, playing Pokemon. But like I said, it's essentially the story of Yellow, where you play as the main protagonist, and you go around and you get a rival that you can pick the name of. Mine's called Barry, because generic name, Barry.
Did you name it Barry?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Just so as I know.
Yep. Barry and other Barry.
Fair enough.
Archer. So it's just like at the moment, I've got 3 of the 8 gym badges, so I've not even really gone into it that much. And I've gone through the rock tunnel, so I'm in Lavender Town now, about to climb the Lavender Town Pokemon Tower, which is a giant cemetery.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird and creepy Pokemon, ghost type Pokemon as you climb it. But from what I've known so far, because the catching mechanic is literally just fling the Pokeball,
Yeah.
and then when you actually battle against other trainers, it's just the classic Pokemon battle mechanic of turn-based, you pick move against opponent, they pick move against you. Typical, well, battling style
Yeah.
from any Japanese RPG, turn-based. Uh, but the game plays really smoothly, and the animation's really good for essentially a very, very old game. But from what I know of the Pokemon Company when it comes to making games is that I think this is going to be our new replacement to the remakes as they do, because over the years, when they've released a new Pokemon game, after a certain amount of time, they've done anniversary-ish editions. So with Red and Blue over here, when they were
Yeah.
first released all that time ago, when the advanced Game Boy generation came along, with Ruby and Sapphire, we got Fire Red and Leaf Green, which was remakes to Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And then as time progressed, we got other ones, including Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which is the remakes of the second generation of Gold and Silver. And we've since had Ruby and Sapphire remakes, Omega and Alpha
Okay.
for the Ruby and Sapphire games. That means that there should be Diamond and Pearl remakes, unless they already have had those. I can't remember. Possibly.
Okay, please don't tell me you're asking or
I
you're
don't.
waiting
I'm
for me
not.
to come with a
I
response
no.
because I have
I'm
no
gonna go with
fucking
no.
idea.
They've not made Diamond and Pearl remakes because the Diamond and Pearl games were actually two of my favorite ones. I
Okay.
really fucking like Diamond and Pearl games. But I would love to see a Diamond and Pearl remakes coming out on the Switch. But if with the Let's Go stuff, I think that the Let's Go remake are gonna be a thing now, and I think that we will get remakes of all of the following generations into Let's Go variants, along with having the standout regular Pokemon games going forwards.
Okay.
So, but I really fucking enjoy playing Let's Go Pikachu. It's relaxing. It's not difficult in the slightest.
Okay.
It's There is so much hand holding, you can't fuck it up. You
See,
just
I like
straight
that.
up can't fuck it up.
Like, I genuinely like that because there are games when you can sit there and go, yeah, get really frustrated and want to launch a controller because nothing's fucking working and you're getting your ass handed to you and yeah, you can't remember the 40, 50 different key presses that you can do on your 8 button controller to do the million different things that you're capable of doing. I'm looking at you, Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, or you can find a game that's nice and relaxing and chilled, and you can just do your thing and just potter along and enjoy yourself. And you need that.
Yeah,
You know, there's nothing wrong with that in the slightest. You know, it's same as watching an old, film that you love because you can switch off while you watch it. You know, you don't have to concentrate. You know it inside and out, and it just relaxes you. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I encourage it, and more games should do that.
yeah. So the original Pokemon games, so the Red and Blue that these ones are based off, are proper fucking difficult
Yeah,
because the game doesn't really tell you anything you need to know as you're doing it. So although the map is exceptionally linear, you start off at a point, the only direction you can go is north. You get to the north, as far north as you can go. I mean, the first town you actually visit, or city that you visit, has 2 directions. You can go west or you can go north. If you go west, it doesn't let you go any further, and it says you can't go this way. You don't have enough badges to keep going this way, so you continue heading north. You get to the north, and then the only direction you can go is east. When you get as far east as you can, you then can't go anywhere. But the game doesn't really let you know what to do because you head east, further east, and you can't keep going because someone doesn't let you because you don't have enough badges.
Yeah.
You go north, you go around, and you don't go very far because there's only two roads up there. One north, one slightly east, and you head back south. You head south, and you come across a doorway. You go so far, and there's a security guard who says you can't go this way because he's thirsty.
Okay.
But then it doesn't really explain what you then need to do because there's an underground. You go underneath there, and you come out the other side, fucking miles away, and you go up to taking on the third gym, and you can't go that way because you haven't unlocked the HM that will allow you to cut the tree down in front of that gym, and that's on a boat.
What's HM?
Hidden machine.
Okay.
So in Let's Go, it's completely changed that, and it's as you go through the game literally tells you where you need to go as you're heading in that direction. And when you reach a certain point, and you'll you'll talk to a person, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, for instance, once you've beaten the third gym, you go through the game." You bump into one of the people, and they say, "Oh yeah, you should go through Diglett Cave," and you're like, "Okay, why the fuck not?" And you just press yes. They take you to Diglett Cave. You walk through it. You then learn, or you get given something, and then you bump into someone who says, "Oh yeah, we should go to Rock Tunnel, which is east of the place that you couldn't go before." But that wasn't in Red and Blue. No one was there to tell you to go there. No one was in the game to take you there. Whereas in Let's Go, they literally say, "Do you want to go now, or do you want to find your own way?" You say yes, and they literally teleport you there. And you can then move on to the next bit.
Fair enough.
This is just it's so simplified, and there's so much hand holding that you can't fuck it up unless obvious reasons that you clearly are not paying attention in any kind of way because you feel like you know exactly what you're doing because you've played it so many times before.
Yeah.
But the game is perfect for children.
Okay.
Whereas the original Pokemon games, despite the fact Pokemon is aimed for children, the Pokemon games are fucking hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I will be playing it. I don't know if I'll finish it.
Have you bought it or have you rented it?
No, I'm renting it from Boomerang.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm going to finish it, or if I'm going to buy it, or if I'm going to send it back unfinished. I'm undecided. I kind of do want to buy it, but I know for a fact that it's probably still really expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just another one of those games on my Switch where I kind of play it for a certain amount of time and go, I kind of wish I hadn't bought this anymore. I still not finished Smash Brothers, but I will. It's just gonna. I don't for a second wish I didn't own Smash Brothers. It's a game I can always just turn on and play.
Well, after we spoke last time about Smash Brothers, I added it to my rental list for Boomerang, and I'm still waiting for it to be posted out.
Yeah, so since we were talking like a couple of days ago about Resi 2, I've added it to my Boomerang list, so it's going to arrive.
Yeah.
At some point. Whether or not I play it before the next podcast is another fucking thing.
Yeah, see, I kind of decided with Resi 2, I'm going to rent it and play it. If it's got replay value, I will buy it from Boomerang. If it's not as good as it initially looks, I'm not saying it won't be. I'm saying Capcom can be douchebags.
Yep.
So, yeah, we will see. And if it is good, I will buy it from Boomerang gladly.
You can play the fourth man, whatever you called it.
Yeah.
But only if you bought the game before on release. It's like,
in which case, I will wait for a complete edition to go on Games of Gold.
This is where they release a complete edition that also doesn't actually have them in it because you didn't buy it on launch.
Yeah.
Or you got it on Games with Gold, or whatever the fuck it was, and it's what was there was the special edition that plays Duke Nukem in Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
And didn't you buy that edition?
No, I did not.
I thought you did buy that edition, but then you couldn't play as Duke Nukem because you didn't activate the code in time or something.
No, I rented it and couldn't play as Duke Nukem. I didn't buy Bulletstorm because I knew it was going to be a one and done. I knew I wouldn't go back to it after I played it again.
I know I haven't gone back to it since I played it the first time I played it, and I didn't even finish it the first time I played it.
I
gave it like 2 hours, was like really enjoying it, played something else, and then never went back to it.
I did enjoy Bulletstorm, and I think I finished it in like 2 pretty short sittings, so it wasn't a big deal to rent it, play it, and send it back. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Resi 2. But yeah, that'll be a rental for the time being. It will be a rental. Yeah, I do want to support the game, but at the same time, I don't want to be fucked over.
Yeah, but going back to Pokemon, I would absolutely consider throwing it onto your rental list and letting Nikita just like mess about with it. Gateway into Pokemon.
That sounds like a dangerous thing.
It is a very dangerous thing. Pokemon is a massive thing, and it's dangerous. But she's probably going to pick it up at some point.
Oh yeah, and you know what? We got her this camera thing she asked for Christmas, and I didn't realise actually this camera has games installed on it. So she spent more time playing the games on it than actually like taking pictures and shit, which is fine because taking pictures lasts about 20 minutes and then she wouldn't want to use it anymore. But playing games, she's doing it all the time. But now I'm kind of keeping my eye on places like Game and eBay and that for a cheap PS Vita for her. Because she's not having a fucking Switch. It's far too expensive. But I can load up a Vita with, you know, young kid type games for her to play. And if she fucks it up, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's not far off being a gamer. I'm working on it. Might wait a little while for Pokemon, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, so kind of don't have anything else to talk about with Pokemon. So, what have you got left? Anything?
That's it, mate. Like I said, Hitman and Resident Evil, and I'm not talking about Hitman anymore because it's just pointless. My Hitman experience is I'm still playing the campaign over and over and over again. I did fuck up the elusive target.
Oh.
No, I still got him.
But
So I'm still undefeated with the elusive targets for Hitman 2, but I thought I'd be clever, and I killed him with an exploding rubber duck. Which was great. So you go into an area. I'll be really quick about this, but so it's on the Columbia mission on Hitman 2, and the guy you need to kill randomly spawns in one of 3 areas. So I found him, figured out what I needed to do, and then restarted the mission so I could do it, and not have a time penalty. And he wasn't there anymore. So nice. I restarted it like 2 or 3 times before he reappeared. And I ran up to the building he was in, planted my rubber ducky bomb, ran off, threw a grenade so to cause a commotion, had everybody run out of the house, and as I watched him run past the bomb, I set it off. It's perfect. I got Silent Assassin and Suit Only. It was brilliant. Apart from the fact I only 1-starred it because I killed 2 of his guards at the same time. And it's that moment, it's that infuriating thing about the elusive targets where you go, well, I've done it, I could have done that much better, and now I can't.
Probably should have blown up the duck when his guards weren't there.
Well, yeah, I mistimed it.
Yeah,
but it was fun, and it's because you spend so much time in Hitman trying to go through and be sneaky and stealthy and all that kind of shit. So when you find the really loud and obnoxious ways of killing people, after you've finished it a couple of times, you do those. The same way as I used an android to shoot Sean Bean in the face for the first elusive target.
Well, it's like when I spent fucking ages sneaking around the Marrakesh on Hitman 1, trying to find everything out, doing loads of really cool and wonderful things, killing a guy with a moose, killing a guy as a teacher, killing a guy as a guard, and then finally going into it and going, you know what, I'm going to do this one. Got the 2 targets to meet each other and killed them with the fucking APC, and as long with 30 other people
Yeah.
just because.
Yeah. And that's half the fun. So once you've done the sneaky stuff, so you start doing the really loud and obnoxious shit, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something loud and obnoxious. I wanted to blow him up. I just fucked it up. But there's a new elusive target, I think, a week on Tuesday. Maybe next Friday, actually. I don't know. There is a new elusive target coming, so I'll definitely talk about that a little bit in the next episode. But yeah, I'm still playing Hitman 2. I can't stop playing Hitman 2. It's so good, and it's so much fun. I ran through the last mission of Hitman 1 inside Hitman 2, because obviously you can play the Hitman 1 story inside 2.
Yep.
And I suit only and silent assassined it in about 20 minutes. Because I know the map so well, I just kind of ran through it and done all the bits that I needed to do. And if you get to it, you'll see why it's such a pain in the ass. Because no lockpick is going to help you on that mission. It's quite funny. So I was quite chuffed with myself for doing that one. But yeah, I'm still playing Hitman 2. And that's all my games, mate. Resi and Hitman.
Sweet. And Lee has been challenging both of us to many, many things on Hitman. So we kind of... I am kind of in need of playing a lot more Hitman. But again, it's you telling me to play Hitman, Lee telling me to play Hitman, or after we've told Lee to play Hitman as well. So him now challenge me. But then there's just the call of playing every other fucking game I've got.
Yep. Well, at the moment, Hitman's my pick up and play game. So, because I'm like 5 hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I can't be asked to pick it up. I was too busy with Resident Evil and Hitman.
Yeah.
I've got tomorrow off work. First thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to do another mission on Hitman before I do anything else, just because I want to do another mission on Hitman. And I will answer Lee's challenges when he comes over to Hitman 2, because I'm not playing on Hitman 1 again. I can play it all on 2. I don't need to boot up 1.
Sweet. So, have you got a recommendation, Brooks?
Far Cry 2.
Okay, Far Cry 2. I was going to say that isn't the Resident Evil demo, but Far Cry 2, I guess.
Definitely the Resident Evil demo. Resident Evil 2 one shot. It's great. Absolutely brilliant. Far Cry 2 is on Games with Gold as of today, I think.
16th, yeah.
Not the Far Cry that you love in things like 3 and 5, but it is a fun game. For a little while at least, anyway.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I'm going to recommend the open beta for Jump Force is up this weekend.
The fuck is Jump Force?
So Jump Force is the fighter that is set around characters from the Jump collection in Japan.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
So it's the One Piece, Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The things that were never really available to be done outside of Japan because, well, rights to the stuff was held by multiple different companies all around the fucking world because no one company would pay for all of it, and Jump wouldn't do their stuff outside of Japan.
Fair enough.
But despite being an open beta, it's only available at certain times. So it's 12 and 3 on Friday, 5 and 8, and 4 and 7 on Saturday. So 5 and 8 in the morning and 4 and 7 in the evening.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, between 8 and 11.
Okay. So it's an actual stress test then?
Yeah, so it's a access to the game's online versus mode. You can play as the 17 characters. Well, you can play as 17 characters from the final game across 5 different stages to test out the lobbies.
Yeah.
So it's an actual testing of the game. So yeah,
cool.
It's available to install as of tomorrow, or rather yesterday.
Yeah.
And by the time most of you are listening to this, the first session's finished, and the beta's over. But the game itself launches on the 15th of February, so the day after Valentine's.
Yay! It's a Friday. Oh yeah, cool.
And on Valentine's Day, I'm going to the dentist.
Nice.
What else do you really want to do?
Happy Death Day 2 comes out on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Horror, mate. I can always tie it into something horror-y.
I don't know which one I prefer.
Well, I prefer the horror film, I have to admit. I'm going to the dentist. Although last year, was it last year? No, would have been the year before. Year before, me and my tag teamed it at the cinema on Valentine's Day to watch John Wick 2. Valentine's Day is just a reason to charge people 3 times as much for the same shit.
Yep.
It's not something that interests me. It's nice to be romantic and all that kind of shit, but if you need a special day of the year to do it, then you might want to check your relationship out a little bit. So yeah, we just do normal stuff, and the only annoying thing is that, you know, cool films come out on Valentine's Day, and every cunt and their son is at the goddamn cinema, on a date. So yeah.
Well, it's not every cunt and their son.
Well, yeah,
a lot of people try and leave their kids at home with the babysitter.
True.
Getting high.
I did try. I did try to get a babysitter for Nikita, and I could take mine to see Happy Death Day, but couldn't do it. And then bless her, my mum went, I could look after her on a Friday. I was like, well, that's great. I'm not going to a fucking cinema to watch a horror movie on a Friday night. I'm just not.
So, wasn't Deadpool a Valentine's movie?
Yes, it was. I think it came out on the 12th over here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know that.
Because it's Deadpool. Why wouldn't you know that?
True.
Deadpool's the second greatest film of all time.
It's up there. I wouldn't call it second greatest. It's up there.
Yeah. So that's us done.
Cool.
Brooker, where can people find you?
Twitter.
Yep.
That's it. Just come find me on Twitter. I'm at Brooker411.
And also your filmy horror stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of share all of the stuff I want to share. I have a Year of Horror Twitter account, which is at Year in Horror. I've also got a blog that I'm writing on a couple of times a week, which is yearinhorror.co.uk. That's me. That's my hobby for the year. Is to just write about horror stuff and watch horror stuff and read horror stuff. So it's not just about films this year, which I'm trying to make a point of. So I'm
reading and playing horror stuff.
Reading horror books, playing horror games, all that kind of shit. I'm off to the tattooist in a couple of weeks for him to finish my horror sleeve, and I will be taking pictures of it and uploading it to the blog. Yeah, come find me there. Just if you're interested in my thoughts, rants, and raves on horror-y type stuff and not so horror-y stuff. When we get off of here and I'm editing, I'm going to sit and watch The Predator, which is definitely a horror film, but it's also not a horror film.
Too spooky for me. Okay, so I'm the John_CU on Twitter. Xbox Live's Long Dong Silver. When I can get around to changing my PlayStation tag, probably will be the same. That's when they actually release it in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, something like
that. But if as individuals you don't care about us, and why would you? As a team, we are Character Unlock on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, websites, YouTube. Are we still on the YouTube stuff?
Not really. Difficult? It's not too difficult. The podcast automatically uploads to YouTube, but I ain't got time, mate.
Filming myself playing games is not high on my agenda of things to do.
The filming yourself playing games is easy. The editing it down to something watchable takes a while. And, you know, work is an absolute beast at the moment. I just haven't got the fucking energy when I get home. So
I might Twitch stream myself playing some Battlefield this weekend at some point, maybe.
Stream yourself playing the one-shot demo.
No.
I think you should. Get the Kinect out, mate.
I don't have a Kinect. And
stream yourself on camera shitting your pants as you play Resi 2. It'd be amazing.
Dude, I've got an Xbox One X. I don't have a Kinect or the adapter to plug a Kinect into my Xbox. Because they don't sell either of those things anymore.
I'm sure you can point the camera from your laptop at your face and meld them both onto the Twitch stream somehow. It must be doable.
Probably is doable. Yeah, it must be. And plus you can, I don't know, also somehow chroma key yourself into it so that just like everyone else does, instead of having a camera pointed at your face, it's just you,
just your head,
weirdly hovering over the fucking game that you're playing.
Exactly.
Fucking creeps me out so much.
But there you go. If you do that, strip out the video when it's done and send it to me, and I'll put it up onto YouTube, and then we can say we're on YouTube again. But I'm not doing video editing, not regularly anyway, because I'm too busy.
Yeah, it is a fucking nightmare. Trying to hobby something is like this can be fucking difficult. If we were getting paid a considerable amount of money,
well, it's that thing though, isn't it? So it's the line. As a podcast, it's a hobby. It's a podcast about a hobby that takes up far too many hours of my day as it is. So when I have the games to play for the podcast, and then I have to edit, we have to record and edit the podcast, I'm quickly running out of hours to do other things.
That's the thing, is that the next episode 2 weeks away.
Yep.
The game that we're going to play for that episode isn't going to be out for very long before then, and I don't have any other new games between now and then to play in case I don't get around to playing that one.
No.
So I'm now stuck playing stuff. Luckily, I've got a couple of things that I've not played yet, or I've got games that I've played and briefly mentioned that I've not talked about in great depth. Battlefield, for instance, I've only just started the actual campaign.
Cool. I'd be interested in hearing you talk about it, because I played a little bit of the campaign and kind of gave up. So
it's not as good as the Battlefield 1's war stories.
I've only played the first two. So I played the one with Craig Fairbrass, and I played the one in the snow, the Norwegian one.
So I've played the first one.
Yeah. So let's not talk about this. We'll talk about this next time. Play some more Battlefield, and we'll talk about it next time.
Play some more Battlefield. Maybe if the servers break again, like they did this week,
yeah,
then I'll play the single player again. But
yeah, this
I mean, Resi is the only stuff I've got achievements left for.
So assuming Resi lands in my letterbox Friday, which is when next Friday, which is when it comes out, I'll have a bit of time Friday night, maybe Saturday, Sunday, because there's no football on next weekend. Because obviously it's Pro Bowl week next week. I don't watch the Pro Bowl live because it's on at 3:00 in the goddamn morning.
And it's usually a really shit game.
I don't mind the Pro Bowl. It's usually a bit of fun. I like exhibition games. Mainly because they're all mic'd up and it's all a bit of fun and everybody's just there for a laugh. I'm quite happy with that usually. So hopefully that's Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe like Monday night. And that's kind of my limit. I need to be finished at least my first playthrough by then, or I can't talk about it. We'll see. I will figure something out. But yeah, doing this as a hobby is great. But then trying to do video editing, which just eats hours, it's not happening. So the YouTube channel's there, and all of the stuff we've done before will always be there. And occasionally, like if we Twitch stream something, to be honest, thinking about it, I should have recorded myself doing the one-shot thing. I could have uploaded it in one shot. I wouldn't have had to have edited it. But occasionally we might put stuff up there, but as a regular thing, no.
The occasional gamers that we are.
Yeah.
So that's us done, and thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
For listening to us ramble on about films for 40 minutes during our hour and a half long podcast.
Yeah. Now I've got to go edit this, and then get to bed because I've got to get up and go for a run in the morning.
Yay, running! Yeah. So, as I said, thanks, and say goodbye, Brooks.
Goodbye, buddy.
See you, mate.